Ladies and gentlemen, we did some detective work. It's no longer the Saxit Gun and Knife Show. It's now the Texas Gun and Knife Show. It's on their website. The police just showed up, the BATF, color of law, and said no longer any private sales in here, which is what people have always done. Most of the tables are people with a license. They've tried to shut them down over and over again, the so-called gun show loophole. All over the country, they're getting social security numbers, you name it. But here's the notice, a scan of the notice. Public notice, selling of firearms at the direction of the Austin Police Department and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Anyone selling a firearm at the show location will be asked to comply with the following. 1, any person selling a personal firearm must go through a licensed FFL dealer in the show to transfer the firearm to the new owner to get that sucker registered with the government. And they always register in England, Australia, Canada before they ban. Number 2, selling of firearms in the parking lot will not be permitted. Thank you for your cooperation. And basically, gun shows are now hunting grounds to go after gun owners and nickel and dime people. Folks, just like before we went to that caller, I talked about cybersecurity and the White House saying we're going to end freedom of speech on the web. In fact, people won't believe it. After we show the Texas gun shows, just type in Cass Sunstein says in free speech on the web. You'll get mainstream news with the White House regulations are. Regulation. They just say it. And yes, you can't in a city or county have a law that's against the state constitution or violates state law. This has been proven over and over again. The attorney generals in Colorado and California and Texas and everywhere else where this is happening need to put their foot down. Art Acevedo with federal grants takes blood without warrants. I told you those warrants 2 years ago weren't real warrants, so they got the legislature to pass a law they can take blood without warrants. But you got to go to the legislature, and then that's unconstitutional. There it is. U.S. regulatory czar nominee wants to tell net fairness doctrine. Cass Sunstein sees Webb as anti-democratic, proposed 24-hour delay on sending email. I mean, folks, that's WorldNet Daily, but I've got like AP, Reuters, you name it. It's insane. It's insane. Ladies and gentlemen, they tripled the size of the BATF under Bush. They're all working together. The Republicans are there sandbagging you. It's not even a regulation. They're just having the NSA and Air Force take over the Internet to openly say that they want to shut it down. In fact, did you Google that term I told you? It's Obama may shut off the web to save the web. That was his bizarre speech a month and a half ago. Again, they're openly getting you ready. The bank stole $28 trillion the last year, since October of last year, 2008. That's 14 months. They are raping us. Bill would give President emergency control of the Internet. CNET News. See? I mean, but they've got to set the grid up to do it. They're building the stinking thing. All of you yuppies, all the average people, you better get up off your butts and go to your legislatures and call Congress and call your ISPs. And I can't believe this is happening to my country. All over the nation, the BATF is raiding gun dealers. And if a dot isn't put on an I or a T isn't crossed, they tell them, all right, here's what you're going to do now. You're going to bust some people for us who aren't even committing crimes. You're going to make guns automatic and then as a gunsmith and give them back to people. They tell gun ranges, you're going to spy on people. You're going to call the police. Folks, it is a secret police grid. Remember the Homeland Security documents we got from law enforcement early last year that made national news, the MIAC and Homeland Security? It said Homeland Security's #1 mission is American gun owners. Northcom, the Army. It's treason. He's taken over the governors right now with the executive order on that. I mean, I can't believe it's happening this fast, but it's just incremental, and they just do it. Now, going back, Scott and Austin, we confirmed from the gun show, now called the Texas Gun Show. You are correct. We have the scan of the handout they were giving people. It doesn't give a contact, nothing. It just says at the direction of the Austin Police Department. So they are and the next thing is at our direction, come turn these guns in. We know you got these 5 guns. Bring them in. They're no longer legal. And the Attorney General's introduced a bunch of bills that say he can ban any guns he wants whenever he wants. And then they say, oh, we're not coming for your guns. We're not coming for your guns. We're not coming for your guns. Stand down. You're not under attack, GI, like Tokyo Rose. Scott. But the good news is you're saying the gun show was asking for a petition because, see, no law. They're just ordered to do this to the Attorney General. And this is not on our news. This should be top story. I demand news stations listening, get up off your fat butts. What is wrong with the media? All of you aren't New World Order scum. Scott, were people upset by this?
Yes, they were. The lady that was working at the front desk used her mommy voice to get everyone's attention. I did find out that building is owned by HEB, and they were contacted by the APD and the BATF.
What about HEB?
Own that building.
It's in that building.
HEB Corporation owns the building that they hold the gun show at.
But see, what they're doing is a private company can do what they want. The private company doesn't want to do it. This is all over the country. They just color a law, come in and say, give us your Social Security numbers to come in. We've confirmed that's happening all over the country. Give us your driver's license. They have nice little mommy ladies. You've heard our past shows. People call in about it. We confirm it. Going, I just need this honey cake, and then you can get your ammo. And everybody just submits, like, go in the naked body scanner, bring your wife and kids in. They now admit they record your naked body. Now almost every major courthouse in the country is ordering the naked body scanners. You get summoned for a ticket, and you've got to go through to go to the court, to check records, to have your right as a citizen, access to the courts. They've got to body scan and record your genitalia. I mean, this is worse than 1984. What have we turned into? What will you jellyfish not put up with? They're doing this because the banks have already robbed us blind. Now they're telling us NAFTA and GATT deindustrialized you. Now you're going to lose your service economy. Now we're going to make you our slaves. The banks are robbing us. Just like big banks would go and murder people who own their own land out west 100 years ago. It's happening again. We're being shanghaied. We're being taken over. And Glenn Beck and the Tea Party Republicans aren't going to save you. They're all part of it, suckering you to stand down. Anything else, Scott?
Yes, sir. About those TSA scanners you get on YouTube, there is ways through Photoshop. If you invert the image, you get a totally naked body.
I appreciate it. It's already naked in black and white. I mean, you see the women's breasts, the men's genitals. I mean, I can't ever fly with my family. And now they say, you're going to go to the courthouse. When you go to the DMV, we're going to scan your genitals. It's an act of submission. And all these yuppies, I hear them on talk radio, they think it's like a popularity contest, and they don't want to be seen as extreme, and so they're all ninny, even conservatives. It's time to wake up and get angry and stand up and get out of your comfort zone and get out of your safety zone. Being jellyfish is endangering us all. We're not safe till we get mad and say, I'm not your slave. My gosh, if the White House regulatory czar saying he's going to ban your free speech, shut down the web publicly, I played the videos Friday on the show. The documents are up on Infowars.com. If that won't wake you up, if I'm banning gun shows by executive fiat just locally, oh, my God, we are in so much trouble, folks. The government isn't doing this to keep you safe. They're making everything outside of the law illegal through pure thuggery. The government is a criminal narcotics trafficking scum organization. Take your states back now. Get angry. Get involved. Take over your towns peaceably through the political process before it's too late. Get the fraudulent voting machines out. And see, I get mad at this, but the 20th or 30th time I hear they're doing this to gun shows, we just go, that's what they're doing. Oh, you're not just going to have the body scanners at the airports, but at the DMVs and at all courthouses? In fact, where's my stack on that? Good news is LA Times, the fight against full body scanners at airports. Congressman fighting it. Court installs new security system. ABC News 7. Castle Rock, Colorado. When you step into the Douglas County Justice Center at Castle Rock, prepare to be scanned. And it's the airport naked body genital scanners. I mean, if they can sell the public, do I have time to go to call before I go to break? We're going to go to break, and I said I'd take calls, so I'll just briefly mention Haiti. And Haiti, they disarmed them a long time ago. The government stole everything. Everything collapses. But the crooks don't care in government if it collapses as long as they run it. I want the Texas gun show people on. I want state senators on. That conservative state senator we had on last year. We beat this at the legislature over and over again. But Arde Saveda doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's your God.